Hey, thanks for joining me. I have a lot for you, as I always do, but right now it's extra interesting. And if you're interested in Las Vegas real estate, residential real estate, and what's happened and what is going to happen, this is exactly the video for you. I hope I proved that to you. In the meantime, if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm Rob Howe, and now you know how to sell or buy Las Vegas real estate. Let's jump right into it. I have some numbers for you. Again, if you are thinking about anything real estate, you want to know what's going on, these are the numbers that I think are the most important. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you how many listings are coming on weekly. Right now, when I look at what's happening, I keep track of the month of March, right? I've started at the beginning and now it's the end. You're actually going to see this video at the very beginning of April, which will be before the numbers come out from Las Vegas Realtors. A lot of YouTube real estate agents get their market update from the Las Vegas Realtors numbers, and those come out several days into the month. But I've already got what's happening, at least some very, very key points for you. So when we look at how many properties coming on market and why that's important, we got over 1,000 on the 7-day average, and that's been going on for the entire month of March and actually going back to February. But when I'm seeing that, I'm seeing that we're getting a fair amount of listings coming on. And then what's happening? Are we getting a lot of listings coming off? Well, let's find out. So as you can see here on what I'm pulled up here, this is early in the month of March. You have new listings, 1,131. That's quite a few new listings. Now, that would be seasonal because this is the time for sellers to come out and play. The thing is that I think there's a lot more sellers comfortable, ready to come out to play right now, and maybe not enough buyers, because when I look here and I see how many sold, 633. So you got 1,131 coming on, plus we're going to add in 108 coming soon. All right, on these numbers that I'm showing you, that is not enough coming off just yet. And so as I go through, you're going to see, I'm going to put this story together for you a little bit. That tells us a quick story of what's happening with the springtime marketplace. A lot of listings coming off. Going under contract, we have just about 900, but that still leaves quite a few excess listings, right? You've got over 200 listings that are being added to the market. And if that trend continues every week, right, you're going to see by the end of the month that it will stack up. Now, another thing that I want to mention that is extremely important are these price decreases. Okay, so this is my first slide that I'm going to show you. As I'm looking through, you'll see these price decreases are staying very high. It even shows you it's red, right? The last one was over 900. This one is at 874. So 872. And then we jump up to 924. We got 1,005 right there. Okay, 1,005 price decreases. 1,040. Okay, 1,040. Price increases 65. This is telling us a pretty good story right here of what's happening. The sellers are having to lower their price. Folks, if you're a seller and you're putting your property on the market, you got to price it right to sell, especially right now. There is a buyer for your property, but if you overprice your property, you're going to be doing this and then you're going to lose money. You're going to lose money, especially right now. 1,066, and that was the one that I just took today before I started shooting this video. So price decreases way higher than I've ever seen them. Well over 1,000, well, getting well over 1,000. 1,062, that's a lot. Okay, so another factor that I always want to keep a track of is what's happening in the luxury market. The luxury market has been so stable, and it's been under 1,000 listings for quite a while. And a lot of my numbers that I look at, I think about the last several years. The springtime, we usually, we'll see a little more coming on, but we've actually been very short on supply, and the listings have been getting taken down by a high buyer demand. And that's what I've seen in the luxury market, is that you basically, anytime something good comes on, it comes off, and it stays about the same, under 1,000, sometimes even dipping all the way down to like 800 or less at one point. Now what we're seeing to start the month, we got over 1,014, 1 million plus properties. These are considered luxury properties, although I think for a lot of people, $1 million property is a luxury. What we've really started happening is really a luxury property might start at a little higher price range, a luxury property here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So here, all of a sudden, 1,049 properties in the 1 million plus. This is the first time I've really seen this number continue to go up and then stay up there. And that's what's happened throughout this month of March. I'm going to show you the last one just to get to the chase a little bit. 1,077 1 million plus properties. Okay, the most stable part of our real estate market in Las Vegas, Nevada has definitely been the 1 million plus. It's been hard to find certain properties there. And you might not think that going up by 100 or so properties or 100 plus properties is that much, but it is starting to tell a tale. Okay, it is starting to change a little bit. If you're one of those buyers out there looking for a million plus property, you'd love to have 70, 80, or 100 more properties to be able to look at. Because maybe within those extra properties there's like 5 that actually fit your criteria. So, you know, having a few more really does allow you to negotiate a little better and maybe just find the property you really want and not settle for something that's not quite there. And I'm going to pull this back up again. This is the last screenshot I took of the market watch that I keep track of. And solds did jump up a little bit. So we did see, you know, we were in the 600s. It went up to 782. Still staying relatively low volume as far as sales are concerned, especially when we see that we're, you know, continuing to stay up there in the numbers as far as what's on market. Now, I'm going to jump right to that now. Total on market at the beginning of the month, 8315. 8315 properties. Beginning of March. We had February where it looked like we were starting to go down on inventory, and then it popped back up. And then it popped back down, and now it's back to popping back up. It did exactly what I thought it was going to do. I didn't think it was going to go back down in February, inventory, but it did. And now it's back up to where I thought things would be. By the way, I am going somewhere with all of this to be able to give you a future outlook on what's going to happen next. You may be sensing where I'm going, but I'm going to be able to put it in detail exactly what I see happening. So 8315 at the beginning of the month. Total on market properties. Now let's look at the end of the month. 8715. 8715. Folks, these are big jumps, okay? Because in the years past, especially the last 3-4 years, since COVID year, we have seen springtime numbers not do a lot of jumping. They don't go up. They, you know, kind of might stay about the same, but there's not enough for people the buyers that are out there to find property, so they end up fighting a little bit over it. Then we suddenly see that our median price jumps a whole bunch, which kind of happened already this year. It definitely happened already this year because the median price went up to the highest level ever. And I think there was a very strong, even if you look at Wall Street, cryptocurrency, you can throw real estate in there, at least in Las Vegas that I know of, that all of these things had a really strong end of year, beginning of year, and now are all doing something different. Now, does this mean that we have a big problem in real estate? Don't worry, I'll shed some light on that. Here in Las Vegas, Nevada, I can tell you what I think is going to happen there. So 8715 total on market that was the screenshot I took today. This is a number that is climbing. So let me jump over to interest rates really quickly before I give you any of my prognostications where I sort of prognosticate on what's going to happen in the future. Let me just tell you where rates are right now. As it stands, it's March 31st when I film this, and as it stands, rates are about 6.75. Okay, so they're staying under 7 for the most qualified buyers. You can get an FHA around 6.5%, 6.5. You know, you're going to be wiggling around a little there, depending on your depending on your credit and other factors that would go into giving you the best rate possible. I do have another specialty program. If you're looking for something, if you're a teacher, and also there's other people who qualify for these down payment assistance programs. There are down payment assistance and grant programs, and those interest rates are around 6.75% to 7%. Okay, so not terrible when you're getting a good a lot of help. You're getting a grant or down payment assistance to be able to purchase the property. And there's also a new program out. If you want me to shed some light on it, it will provide $50,000 to a purchase. Now there's a bunch of detail to that, and even I'm learning a little bit more about it, so I just wanted to mention it because it is an intriguing program that just came out. If you want to know more about that, I will be able to help you, whether it's myself or my lender. Just contact me anytime and we'll get that going for you. Okay, so let me wrap this all up, folks. You may be seeing what I'm saying. Are you smelling what I'm cooking here? Because what I'm seeing is that this springtime is different than it's been for many years. We're going to have more inventory than we have had for quite a long time at this time of year. If we were to continue to climb up in inventory, I think the concerning territory would probably be around 10,500 properties on market, just because of the volume of what you have for buyers that are out there. If you don't have a strong volume of buyers, the more inventory that we pile up, it starts to become a problem, because there's going to be sellers really trying to get their properties sold and maybe getting blindsided by the fact that they can't. Now, will this be a big, huge problem in the future? Always could be. Time is what would tell that tale. If we continue to have, not enough people interested in buying or able to buy properties, then you would definitely have a problem. I am hearing reports of people going behind on their mortgage, like to the levels that we haven't seen in a long time. I'm not really seeing that in Las Vegas, and certainly not seeing foreclosures or short sales come onto the market by any stretch, by any amount. But you could see where if you had a number of these things piling up together, that could create a huge problem. I don't see it happening right now. I think that we're well off from that. What I actually do see is going to be a softening. There will be some correction, and I think that it needs to happen. Personally, I think that there needs to be a little better price for people out there, and that wouldn't be hurtful to those who are trying to buy in a market where we've had record high median price and higher interest rates. Not necessarily high historically, but for having record high prices, those interest rates make it difficult to purchase. So in the months ahead, through April, if we continue to see that the inventory stays high, doesn't come down, the buyers that do get involved are going to be able to push around sellers. They're going to be able to go in there and get even more closing costs, even more off the price, and that will soften things as we go along. The summertime, usually still has some strength in it. We're in Vegas. When it gets hot, the market still usually stays fairly hot. It would be more likely at the end of the year when we could assess if we really do have some damage happening. All right, so I hope this helps you. And listen, if you're a seller or a buyer out there and you need great, honest representation, well, you know how. I've been doing this for a long time, since 2009, folks. So I'm here to help you when you are ready. Please contact me, subscribe to the channel. And last thing I need you to do before I just thank you for watching this is have a great day, have a great week. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure to check out my website at robhaulasvegasrealtor.com and check me out on all my social media. Thanks again for watching.